Demonstrators gathered Wednesday for a second night of protests in the U.S. over the killing of a handcuffed black man by a policeman who held him to the ground with a knee on his neck. As dusk fell, police formed a human barricade around the 3rd Precinct in Minneapolis, where the officers accused of killing George Floyd worked before they were fired on Tuesday. They pushed protesters back as the crowd grew a day after police fired rubber bullets and tear gas on thousands of demonstrators angered by the latest seemingly needless African-American death at the hands of U.S. law enforcement. Minneapolis Police Chief Midaria Arradondo cautioned protesters to remain peaceful.
So I know that there is currently a deficit of hope in our city. And as I wear this uniform before you, I know that this department has contributed to that deficit of hope, but I will not allow to continue to increase that deficit by re-traumatizing those folks in our community. So I am committed to making sure that we restore peace and security in our community.
President Donald Trump, in a tweet, called Floyd's death, quote, sad and tragic. As outrage spread across the country over a bystander's cell phone video of his killing on Monday while in the custody of 4 white police officers. All 4 have been fired, as prosecutors said they had called in the FBI to help investigate the case, which could involve a federal felony civil rights violation. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey calls for peace during a press conference and says he has requested the governor and state patrol's assistance after a second night of angry protests over the police killing of Floyd.
In the coming days, we will have an all-out effort to restore peace and security in our city. I've authorized a unified command structure that allows our Chief Arradondo to utilize resources, personnel from other jurisdictions. We've requested assistance from the state, and we are thankful to the governor for the support, as well as from the state patrol. We must believe that we can be better than we have been. We must confront our shortcomings with both humility as well as hope. We must restore the peace so that we can do this hard work together. If you're feeling that sadness and that anger, it's not only understandable, it's right. It's a reflection of the truth that our black community has lived. While not from lived experience, that sadness must also be understood by our non-black communities.
The case was seen as the latest example of police brutality against African Americans, which gave rise 6 years ago to the Black Lives Matter movement. Floyd had been detained on a minor charge of allegedly using a counterfeit $20 bill to make a purchase at a convenience store.